All right, we are live. Just got done a fun little session with Fishing with Steve and Bob from Anything is Possible. Had a good little session down at the river. Got a couple bites, but was not able to capitalize on anything while we were down there. But now we're going to do some fun stuff back here around the house. Have some cool stuff. I know a lot of you guys will probably be popping in and out, back and forth between Steve, Bob, and me because we were just all hanging out. But yeah, we're going to hang out, see what's going on here. Thanks for popping in, everyone. Sebastian's in here, Raptor Will's in here, awesome member. We're gonna start here in the garage where we're nice and warm and not wet, and we're gonna real quickly take a look at some of our fishing stuff. And I don't know what the creek is gonna look like. We're gonna go down and check out the creek during this live. I don't know if it's open water or I don't know if there's a thin layer of ice. So I'm gonna get an ice rod rigged up and an open water rigged up before we head down to the creek. That's the goal. We're gonna probably go do the creek first and then come back, maybe do some archery, and then possibly try and do a little bit of organization with that to close it out, just kind of wind down the live. We got a lot of people in here already. Sebastian, Raptor Will, Randy, Al's in here, Rod Wilson's in here. Got some awesome members, got some awesome moderators. Cole Regent's in here as well. Got everyone kind of filing in. Yeah, we're gonna pull out the ice rod, a brand new one that I have never used. I bought it at an expo in February after the ice was already gone, but I bought it. I'm excited to use it because it's a super ultralight rod. It should be fun for tiny fish. Check this thing out. Look how thin this rod is. That's it right there. It's the rod. We're gonna put a tiny little reel on this and just see what we can do. Free clippy. Don't know what that means. We are going to put the reel from my typical ultralight rod on there. Sent a gift, a seal. That looks like a seal. Clapping seal, there you go. Going ice fishing tomorrow, that's awesome. The runt rod, yep. Yeah, we've had 1 or 2 days of safe ice. Bob from Anything is Possible, who I was just talking about, got out on it, and then it went away, but it's supposed to come back. We should get in some ice fishing this year. I don't know. We're not like actually ice fishing. If we go to the creek and there's ice, I'm going to crawl out on a log that lays over top of the creek, and we're going to see what we can do from sitting on that log. But yeah. All right. Yeah, look at this thing. It's a perfect little reel for on here. Just kind of pull that tight in there. And boom. All right. See if we can get this strung up. Got 15 people in here already. Thank you guys. It's appreciated. We're going to have some fun today. I got some more work done to the bow, the compound. We, of course, got the recurve as well. I got a brand new target. If you guys have watched any of my recent archery lives, you'll know that that target was starting to fade on me. Arrows popping through the back, all sorts of stuff. So when we do archery, we should have some fun. And we got a whole lot of unknowns as we walk over to the creek. I don't know if there's ice or if it's clear or what. So we're going to have fun over there. Look at this little rod. That's perfect. Don't be a bum. Remember the thumb. There you go. In Texas, yeah, you said you went down there for the holidays. That's awesome. Just sub from Anything. Thank you. Herbert and Randy are talking about something. There you go. Don't take a hike. Hit the like. Setting up to go whaling. Sure. I mean, I'm down. But yeah, little ice rod. And then we got this rod over here, which we can just bring along in case it's open water. I think it's going to be kind of half and half, so it's going to be iffy. We'll see what it looks like. there's a potential that I have tiny rod, big fish. Yeah. There's a potential that I have some worms downstairs in the basement. I'm gonna quickly go check. That means you guys are gonna have to hang out and behave for like a minute while I go check for that. Take off the boots. Oh boy. All right, I'll be back. Let's see how quick I can do this. 5 minutes and 34 seconds. Six minutes and 24 seconds, so less than a minute. We got worms. They've been in the fridge for a while. I don't know if they're alive, but... Oh! Those are live. Look at that. We got live worms. We're in business now. With live worms in a dream, there's nothing you can't catch. Found a new artist that's been making music for 4 months. She's great. That's pretty sweet. It's always cool to get in on stuff early. Be like the first people to know of that person. That's always kind of cool. All right. So I'm developing an idea, which I kind of like. Let's grab the slingshot, take that down to the creek, and if we have to sit there and wait for bites, whatever we're doing, we can sit and wait for bites and shoot the slingshot at the same time. It just gives us some possibilities for fun. If you like Yellowstone, you'll like Landman. Everyone's talking about TV now. Ozarks Woodsman's in. We're gonna do some archery later, Woodsman. We got the good old bow with the homemade squirrel tail silencers over here. If you guys haven't seen this, I did some squirrel hunting, and after I used the meat, I made some cool stuff out of the hide and tail, including some string silencers for one of my bows. So that was pretty awesome. All right, let's get all our stuff ready to roll. If the ice is there, it's going to be super thin, so we're just going to break through it with a stick. But yeah, we got that, my bag, fishing bags in the car, worms here, put the worms in the pocket. What's up? Here from Anyfin, SSB, thank you. SSBO, sorry, I missed a letter. All right, let's open the garage door, go see where our bag's at. Get packed up and head out to the creek, see what it offers. It's raining a bit, it's always fun. There's the truck. I'm gonna run down there and grab my bag. All right. Let's get our stuff in the bag, head down to the creek and see what's there. I will forewarn you all that I'm in the house on my Wi-Fi So when I leave, it's going to have to switch over to data, and the connection might get a little wacky for a minute, but I'll try and work through it. Bear with me as I walk away from the house. Okay, so we got little ice rod, in case that's what we encounter, and we've got open water rod. Let's go see what's there. Dirty Money's back in the house. A newer. I bring the. I don't even know what you're saying. Dirty Money is a newer subscriber from one of my more recent lives within the last couple weeks. As I walk away from the house, as I said, the connection might get a little fuzzy. Bear with me for a moment. We'll reconnect eventually. I'm gonna fold up the tripod legs so I can carry it a little bit better. There we go. Taking a walk. Been in the woods yet? In what capacity? SSBO says I gotta go, not a problem. Let me reconnect here, make sure we're good. Alright, we're good. In what capacity? Got your first, that's awesome. Uh-oh, I'm holding my ice rod weird, don't want to like break that. Hunting with that new bow. Oh, yeah. No, I'm probably not going to go out with it till next season. I want to get some cameras up. Want to make sure I have a legit plan for butchering before I go out. Because, like, if you get a deer and then you have no plan to butcher it after you do it, that's a terrible idea. So I want to make sure my plan is solidified. I want to make sure that I have some stands up and ready to roll, so have some cameras out, all sorts of stuff. And then we'll be out there next. It's definitely a pursuit challenge, but yeah, we'll see. It snowed this morning and now it's raining, so actually have a family from church. Whoa. The deer hunting in the past, done a lot of butchering, and he's actually gonna butcher it with me and show me how to do it myself. So like on the fly teaching, he's gonna do it and show me as he's doing it. But I need to make sure that we have like a legit plan on like, when are you available to butcher it? So if I like go out on a Tuesday, is he gonna be there or is he not? Like all these things. So it's stuff we're gonna figure out. Let me lower that down so I can carry it better. My name's Hank Hill, and I sell propane and propane accessories. There you go. Yeah, I actually live in an area where there's not a ton of butcher shops available, but I could definitely bring it over to that family from church. I actually picked up their son yesterday to go do some practice. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve service at church. I am part of the worship band, so I do a lot of music stuff, and I'm part of 3 special Christmas songs. We were doing some practice for one with him yesterday. My sister and I were. That's gonna be a fun one. So deer jerky is fire. 10 out of 10 would eat again. There you go. I will make some hopefully when I get myself a deer or 2 next year. I mean, I'm sure I can get myself a doe fairly easily if I put in my time, my research, all that, go to a good spot. I should be able to do that. Far and few between, regardless of where you live. Yeah, but no, since I have that option to do it with someone who I know and trust, and he will actually teach me, I don't think that's an opportunity I can pass up. Taste the meat, not the heat. There you go. Rippin' Rod's in here. Rippin' Rod's has a pretty successful channel. I met him through Creed Garner. Was a member, still an awesome part of the community. even though he's no longer a member. I've known Creed for a while, and I met ripping rods through him. So, yeah. Got a tree in your yard? You talking about practicing from elevated? I have a climber that my girlfriend's dad's gonna give me. I'm gonna put a climber up in the woods where I typically do my archery practice, so that throughout the year I can practice from elevated. That'll be pretty fun. Skinning, yeah. I can't skin at my house. I live in a neighborhood that would frown on that. So I'm gonna take it over to those people from my church, but they live like 20 minutes away, so we should be okay. It's not like the worst thing in the world to go drive that over there. Yeah, I'm gonna put a tree up, or a tree stand up in the backyard range eventually, a little climber, so that I can practice from elevated throughout the year. That'll be a fun wrinkle in our archery lives too, climb up in the tree. Well, here's snow. We found some. I will find you if you use charcoal. Hank Hill promoting the propane. All right, this is slippy. We're walking downhill in muddy snow. Whew, made it. Let me readjust here. Kenneth, he eats his kills and uses the pelts. I've been watching for months now. Yeah, when I went squirrel hunting, that's what I did. To me, if I'm gonna take the animal, like, I don't have any problem with doing that, but I don't take that responsibility lightly. If I'm gonna take the animal, I'm gonna use as much of it as I can. When I did that squirrel, I used all the meat I possibly could, and then I used the hide. I've got that hide dried out. I'm gonna use that for fly tying, for dubbing material, and then I used that tail to make string silencers. I'm just gonna continually use as much of an animal as I can, because I respect that animal's life too much to not do that. All right, so it looks like we might have completely open water, which is all right. Pulling 80 pounds in a tree then definitely different than pulling it on the ground. Yeah, were you there when I did the sitting down pull of the bow to show you how in control I am? I mean, there is a benefit to consistently lifting, because then when you need to pull 70 pounds is pretty darn easy. But yeah, I pull 70 pounds for my bow. That's the max for my bow. And I certainly could pull 80 just as easy, but the 70 pounds, super, super comfortable. And that is yeah, I thought that was you. But yeah, you need to be able to do it comfortably in control to make sure that you're prepared to do it from a tree, for sure. All right, so we got full open water. I was expecting a little ice, but we got full open water. We'll have fun with that. Plus, there's a tree in your way once you're in a stand. Yeah, for sure. You need to be like able to do it in your sleep. I heard someone say once that, like, if you can't point your arrow at a target, pull it straight back without like or any of that. You need to be able to just do it straight back, and if you can't do that, then you're probably pulling too much poundage. So it's probably a good rule to go by. So a lot of people out there know more than me, so I just kind of follow the general guidelines there. All right, so let's see what we can rig up on this rod. Do I see any fish? There's a couple fish out and about. We'll see if we can catch something. Something little, just to get the skunk off the board. I went out there with Steve and Bob earlier today. I think both of them are still live. So feel free to pop back and forth in and out of this live and theirs. All right, let's see. We're just gonna rig up a little hook with some worm and see what we can do here. Let's get you guys at a good viewing angle as I rig up here. All right. I will have a short coming out. I think I'm gonna set it for tomorrow. It's currently scheduled for this evening. So if I don't remember to touch it, it'll come out this evening, but I should have it coming out tomorrow if I can remember. And yeah, that should be a fun one. It's me building out my sight tape. You guys will get to see me shoot all the way out to 70 yards in that short, grouping pretty well. And then off camera afterwards, I shot 80 and I grouped really well there too. So. And then members have already seen it, but I shot out to 80 the other day and did pretty well. So we're getting there, guys. All right, what kind of hooks we got in here? Ooh, that's not bad. I like that. We'll use that. We got some chats. I'll read that in just a moment. Close up that, grab a little worm nugget, and we're in business. All right, here we are. All right, we are in business. I think I'm just gonna go the weightless route to start and see what we can do. I quit tree hunting 30 years ago. Yeah, interesting. Why is that? Just you didn't like it, or found a better way to do it for you, ground blind, whatever? Back needs the right muscle for heavy bows, more than just string and stick. Yeah, we're gonna do some archery with probably both bows, probably my recurve and my compound a little bit later, but we're gonna catch some fish first. We're full open water today, which I actually wasn't anticipating. I was anticipating some ice at least around the edges of the trees and such. Ground hunt only, use the wind, learn to stalk you out 3 times the encounters. Yeah, that stuff is fun. I see a lot of them out and about walking around. But the spot I'm probably going to end up going, there's not much land. There's a lot of deer activity there, but there's not much actual ground. So I feel like trees going to be the way to go there. But yeah, totally open to trying stuff in the future. All right, let's see what we can do with weightless worm. Fish activity is definitely slowing down. All right, we got a couple bites right there. Hey, Squirrel Magnet. Haven't seen you in a while. How's the fishing going? We just got started. I was out with Bob and Steve earlier, actually, and we skunked out. Hopefully they're having a little bit better luck, but I needed to come home for some lunch and do a couple things. And then we're just out here trying to get the skunk off the board at the creek. I wanted to see if there was any ice here or not. It's completely open water, which is intriguing. And then we're gonna go shoot the bow in a little bit. So if you don't have much acreage, then still hunting probably best bet. Yep, I think it's 4.5 or 5 acres. But there's like the property itself takes up, like the houses take up probably about an acre, and then it's a big hill down to a creek at the bottom. So if I fish on that hill and get a good vantage point, I can probably see stuff coming up that whole hill and just wait for it to get to where I am. So if I get the right vantage point, we should be able to do pretty well still hunting. Glad the water's not frozen over. Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that, like, I either want it to be full open water. And I feel like most people are like this. I would really hope it would be full open or full safe ice. And this time of year in Pennsylvania is tough. A lot of times you get in between. So, all right, let's put it back in there. We had some nipping. Bunch of little shiners down there. Oh, here we go. Oh, I missed him. Driving and listening. Hi, everyone. There you go. Yep. Yeah, I thought you were from PA. That was mostly a general comment. Not necessarily like telling you, but just telling the audience. Yeah. Bob's back in here. Bob, I imagine that means he's done with his own line. Bob, just strike out. Zyro's in here. Hey. Yeah, I know Squirrel. I've had some conversations actually about magnet fishing with Squirrel. He's been in here before. I think Squirrel might have been in there on the day I took the magnet fishing setup in the river on the kayak. I think he was in there. That was kind of fun. Oh, here we go. Oh, I missed him. That was a little sucker, I think. Can't wait to troll your member-only lives, Bob. You have no idea. There you go. There's a lot of little shiners messing with it. But I'm waiting for a big chub or something to come around. I'm telling you, like, look at these downed trees here. Like, something like that. When this ice is over, I'll go out there before we have safe ice on the actual ponds, and this is iced over. I'll go out there with you guys, and I will sit on that log, and I will ice fish off the log. I'm telling you, that'll be some fun right there. Mickey says, love fishing. I do as well. Hence why I'm out here 2 days before Christmas in the cold. Yeah, lots of little shiners messing. We're gonna get one. We're not going home empty-handed. We might go home with a small fish in hand, but we're not going home empty-handed. I don't think, at least. Oh, that was a chub. I saw him. Red worms. Yeah, we're using, I think they're night crawlers. They might be red worms. I don't know. They're pretty old. I've had them for like 3 months, and somehow they're still alive in the fridge. So we're just using what we got. Yeah, there's a lot of tiny shiners. It's weird. There's not many bigger chubs right now. Good luck. Don't catch them all. Well, right now we're not. But we definitely, we're definitely not going to give up. I mean, there's so many fish here. We just got to really, I mean, frankly, if we downsized our bait right now, we might catch one. It'll be a tiny one, but we might catch one. If we do this, look at this bait. This is ridiculous. Let's see if we catch one. Hook and sink in 5. Yeah, we're letting it sink. Yeah, we're still getting bit. I'm going to switch back to the little bit bigger bait. I mean, there's definitely some chubs and stuff in here. Nothing fancy. A lot of people would be like, you're just catching chubs? What? But like, you know, it's fish. You could always catch a sucker in here, hook something nice, so might as well come out and give it a shot. You never know what's in here. All right. Got a bigger piece now. We should be able to actually cast it a little bit better. 15 people in here. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to see if we can get ourselves a fish or two. Then we're going to go back and shoot the bow. Oh my gosh. Oh, we had him. That was a little chub. I'm gonna reset the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, we're back. The winter like this is when you start to appreciate these little creeks and these little tiny fish that are always there and willing to bite for you. In the summer, you're like, oh, I want my bass and I want my catfish and all this, but you know, you forget about the beauty and just the awesomeness of being able to have stuff like sunfish and stuff like chubs. It's always there, always willing to bite. That stuff's your friend in winter. I just had a nice chub come up and grab it and I completely whiffed. Oh my gosh. There we go. There's our first fish of the day. We got ourselves. Let's see if someone can identify it. First person to identify it in the chat gets my respect. Not that you don't have it, but you definitely have it if you can get it. What is this? Anybody know? I know Bob knows. Does anybody know what that type of fish is? Muskie. Bob got it. No, I'm kidding. I'll get one more look. Freshwater mullet. I mean, kinda. I'll toss him back, but we got our first fish. I kind of missed the water. That was called a... I'll give you a couple more seconds. Anybody? It's called a common shiner. That's what that one was. There's lots of different types of shiner in here. There's spot fin, spot tail, swallowtail, common shiner. Every once in a while you'll find a golden shiner in here, but that is called the common shiner. And it is the most common one you'll catch. Oh, now we're on a hot streak. We got a different type now. That is the most common type of shiner you will catch in these little creeks. This is a different type of fish. Also a typical suspect for creeks. Toss him back, see if anybody knows what that one is. That's good flathead bait right there. That's my favorite type of flathead bait. More freshwater research, yeah. Zyro, you called yourself, what was it, a good snook the other day, right? I saw Bob posted about that. Creek chub, yep. That's right. Yeah, I mean, we're not finalized yet because there's a lot of things going on, and it's not going to be a fishing trip. But you're kidding yourself if you think I'm not bringing rods if we go. But my girlfriend and I might go down to visit her aunt in Florida, down in Miami. So I might be able to do a little fishing. Not sure if I'll get a snook, but saltwater stuff down in Florida might be coming up. Throw yourself in the water. Not in this temperature. Water's like 34 degrees. I almost said shiner, but then I remembered how many there are. I love fishing, but only been once. Yeah, there are a lot of types of shiners. There's a lot of the ones I'm getting messed with that are real tiny are, they look like satin fins, so we might just randomly be able to get a satin fin if one just eats the bait just right. They're super tiny though. You like seafood? I do like seafood. If you can't get live bait, use frozen shrimp. You'll get whatever's in the water. Yeah, I wanna. I might look into it. That might be a purchase before I go. But I have, and I did a whole video on it. A rod that I use. Not a purchase, like a plan rather. I have a rod that I use. It's called the Infinite Mini, from Rigged and Ready, and it's like a modular rod, so I can bring a couple of reels in that rod and be pretty set. But I feel like if they have like surf rod rentals or anything like that down there, just getting a little bit bigger setup, dedicated setup for saltwater fishing while we're down there, just rent it or something, might be nice as well. So, oh, almost caught another stickerel. That would have been stickerel number 2 on the day for me. It's illegal to fish there. I'm gonna call the authorities. It's definitely not illegal. So I've been fishing here. This is one of the first spots that I consistently came to. It's probably my second most fish spot. It might be my most fish spot of all time. Because all throughout COVID and all that, when I was too young to drive, I'd just walk over here. I mean, you guys saw me walk over from the house. It's super close for me. It's got little fish in it. I've caught probably 25 different species of fish from this creek. There's lots of different pools. Oh, missed him. This is the one I most commonly fish because it's super accessible and it's big and deep. But yeah, there are a lot of different fish in this creek. I've caught let's list some species I've caught out of here. I've caught some white sucker, stuff you've seen today, creek chub, common shiner, satin fin shiner, spot tail shiner, swallowtail shiner. I've caught some. What else have I caught? Bluegill, red breast sunfish, green sunfish, some hybrids of them. What else have I got out of here? Cutlips minnow. What else? Oh, we're getting bit. I'm trying to think. What else have I got out of here? My friend has got a quillback out of here, which was pretty cool. They were in here for a while. Just 1 year they were up in here. I guess they came up from the river and then they left. Every once in a while you'll get a stray stock trout that makes its way up from another creek system into here. Dace, black-nosed dace, long-nosed dace, they're in here. Tessellated darter, they're in here. Caught some of those. What else? I'm running out of options here, but you can see there's a lot of stuff that I've caught throughout the years in this creek. Ooh, northern hogsucker, caught them in this creek too. There's a lot of stuff in here, man. When I come here, I've come here throughout the fall and early winter on the lives. Oh, that was a good chub. And I've just caught a lot of shiners and a lot of chubs. Just basic stuff, simple stuff, nothing super exciting. But man, every once in a while you get into something a little bit cooler. Cutlips minnow are always fun to find. You guys will see a cutlips minnow catch out of this creek in an upcoming video. Not going to reveal the details of that, and why that's important. But yeah. Oh, rock bass. Every once in a while you'll find a rock bass in here. Largemouth bass, smallmouth bass make their way up in here from the river sometimes. See, there's a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, I've caught probably 25 species out of this creek throughout my life. Lots of stuff. You got, bullhead. There's a yellow bullhead in here. You guys have seen me on lives, on videos, catch probably, just within the videos, you've seen me catch almost 20 species out of this creek, I'm sure. I know it like the back of my hand. There's nothing special about it, but it's something nice to come down here and fish something you're familiar with, see it through the seasons, and just kind of have a little fun. Colleen Wilson says, have you caught anything? We have one creek chub and one common shiner on the board. Just 2 little guys. Nothing super fancy, nothing special, but it was good to get a couple fish on the board. We're probably going to head back not too long, go shoot some bows real quick. I got a brand new target to use. Took a trip to Lancaster Archery. Got my bow paper tuned, and actually I was given some free arrows, which it was really, really nice. I bought my new rest that you guys have seen, my Hamsky drop away, from Lancaster Archery's website. So when I went over there, just because I was in the area, my girlfriend lives out in Elizabethtown, so I was at her house. She needed to go take her final, her last final of the semester, and so that morning while she was over taking her final, I went out to Lancaster Archery, got my new rest paper tuned, and then while I was there, I actually got given some free Easton 6.5s, which are the arrows I shoot. They had off-cut them. They were supposed to cut them to 30. They accidentally cut them to 29, which is what my arrows are. And the guy there noticed that I shot 29-inch Easton 6.5s, 340 spine, and he said, you can have these if you want. So I got free arrows and got my bow paper tuned at Lancaster Archery for free. I went and spent $0 and ended up coming home with a brand new, newly tuned bow and some new arrows. So that was really, really awesome. Got some new Eastons with the bully veins on them to play around with, which I like the bully veins way more than I like the blazer veins. So that made me pretty happy too. All right, we're gonna give it like 5 more casts, and then we're gonna work our way home and shoot the bows. We're probably gonna pull both of them out. Did I bring the slingshot? I might have forgot it, but we were gonna bring the slingshot. If I haven't, we'll take a couple shots at something, see if we can knock it down. Oh, there were 2 chubs fighting for it. I thought one got it. Nancy Drew sent thumbs up. Thanks, Nancy. I didn't even see you in here. Hold on here. All right, we should be back. There you go. All right, phone battery needs plugged in here in a moment. Cast number 2 of 5, and then we're leaving. After the casts, I'll plug in my phone, and then we'll get heading back. Oh, that was almost the satin fin or the spot fin. They look almost identical till you get them out of the water, and even then you still can't really tell unless you count rays. So I'll be completely honest, sometimes I look at it, and if it looks more like a satin fin or more like a spot fin, I'll just call it that and won't count rays. But I know how to differentiate them, but I just don't do that all the time. Hey, Bob joined the members. That's awesome. Thank you, Bob. I've been a member of Bob's, who has an amazing community, by the way, for a very long time. I never, like, if someone's a good part of the community and they don't want to join the members, I don't care. But we've got an awesome membership community as well. For 99 cents a month, you can join the adventures, which is what Bob did. That gives you access to members-only videos. I do some shorts and do some videos just for the members, some little behind-the-scenes updates, some members-only posts, members-only live streams. That kind of gets you in the door. And then for an extra $1 a month, if you want to upgrade to the Voyagers, you can see clips from videos I'm editing. So as I'm editing, I will export just certain clips of videos that I'm doing in the future, and you guys will get to see them a month or 2 months before I release them. I just released a clip from the squirrel hunting video that will be probably releasing in about a month, and I released that on Saturday. So the members have already seen that, the Voyager members and up. And then we've got the Explorer membership, which is $5 a month. and that really has no extra benefits. It's just if you feel led to financially support the channel because you like what I'm doing, you like me as a person, then that's kind of why that one exists. And we got one awesome guy, Fishing with Steve, who was who I was hanging out with earlier today on that membership level. But it's a fun community. I try and keep it as low cost as possible just for people to get a little bit of extra stuff. And now Bob's part of that. I would, but I'm broke. My money is a non-factor. As I said, absolutely no requirement for you to ever join the membership. It's just a little bit of extra stuff. I do my very best to put out good stuff for you guys on public, but I give the members a little behind the scenes, a little sneak peek of stuff just for a little extra money. It's stuff I'm working on, stuff that a lot of times you will get to see in some capacity on the main channel, like on the main public channel. It's just, you get to see it earlier, you get to see unedited stuff, all sorts of fun things. But yeah, it's just a little bit of extra for you guys. No need to ever join if you don't feel led to, but if you are led to, it's fun stuff. So like, for example, to give you an example, as I said, I have a short coming out probably tomorrow. Oh my goodness, big chub. There he is. That's a bigger chub. All right, that's a good way to end it. Little, when I say bigger chub, there was a big one messing with it, like probably an 8-incher, but that's a little bit bigger one. I want to, I literally can't. Yeah, as I said, not a problem at all. I'm not upset when people can't join the memberships. I was talking about Creed earlier and how much I love Creed as part of the community. Creed was a member, no longer is. I don't have to hold that against him at all. Like, I still love Creed. That means nothing to me. So Bob, I was out there hanging out earlier today with Bob, and this is Bob's first ever time joining the membership. My relationship with Bob and the fact that I like Bob has nothing to do with the fact that he's a member. So I appreciate it when people do that, but it's not required. Don't ever feel like it is. Yeah. But yeah, for example, like kind of stuff that the members see, you guys will be seeing a short that I filmed about 3 weeks ago. Probably tomorrow you'll be seeing it, where I built my sight tape out, shot out to 70, but the members have already seen a short from the other day, like 2 days ago, when I went out there and shot 80 and 90 yards. The members have already seen that. You guys haven't even seen me shoot the 70 yet, but they've seen the 90 already. So they get a little bit of a head start on stuff. Blauberto, yeah. Yo, I'm a bit late, no problem. Real baits. We caught 3 fish. We got ourselves 2 chubs and a common shiner, nothing fancy. Just came down here to kind of check out what the ice situation looked like at the creek, and we don't have a whole lot. It's pretty much open water. Just getting some information. And now we're gonna head back. We're gonna shoot the bows. We're probably gonna bring out the recurve and the compound, shoot them both. Yeah, chubs are fun. Always willing participants, willing to bite. You can count on a chub to break your skunk for you. Ice is melting here too. Where are you out of again? I don't remember. I could probably like make a circle on the map, but I don't remember exactly which state it is. I could make a circle and you're somewhere in there, but I don't remember which one it is. Illinois, close to the Iowa border. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I think I would have circled you in my circle. I want to see that circle. Yeah, it probably would encompass about 4 states, but I knew you were somewhere in there. Zach Diamond says, hi, I believe new to the channel. We're just getting done with a little bit of basic fishing for tiny fish, just seeing what's in the creek here. We're gonna head back and do a little bit of archery now, so stick around if that interests you. Oh my goodness. All right. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Nolan. Thanks, Bob. There you go. Slide that down. Make the half-mile trek back to the house. As I said, this has been a spot that I fished for a very long time. And I fished a lot because before I could drive, I would always walk down to this creek and fish for hours in the summer. Before I had a job, before I had responsibilities, and before I had a vehicle and the ability to drive, I'd just come down here, spend my days at the creek. For a very long time, I did that. Gonna walk on back home now. Did you catch a bass fish? I did not. I caught 2 creek chubs and a common shiner. I have caught many bass in my day, and there's lots of videos where I have caught bass up on the channel. But even from this creek, I've caught a couple bass up on the channel, but none today. Cohen Musan, sorry if I messed it up, says, sup? Not much. How about you? Heading back to the house to do some archery after doing some fishing. I wish I had water on or near my property. Gotta have my dad drag me to the river. Yeah. Don't worry, man. Driving is definitely worth the wait. It can be annoying too. So, and it can be, no matter how good of a driver you are, no matter where you're driving, you're always gonna have a couple experiences that you're like, oh wow, that could have been bad. So it is important to learn, and it's important to do it the right way. All right, hold on. I need to plug in my phone before it dies. Let me do this real quick. Bear with me as I have terrible camera angles for a moment. All right, got it plugged into the power bank, and then move the phone and do that for just a moment. All right, we are plugged in. And we're back in the tripod. There you go. We're good. Nancy, I think you're heading out. Says, have a good day. Merry Christmas. Thank you. You as well. Have 6 different ponds at my house, so I have some pretty good fishing. That's awesome. Had a few of those experiences on power sports. Yep, I hear you. Yeah, driving has its ups, has its downs, but when you get there, you'll have some new opportunities, also new responsibilities and new costs. I mean, driving my truck around is not the cheapest thing in the world. Every time I fill up, it's like $65 to $70, depending on where I fill it. It takes 26 gallons, that beast. That's some money. That's why you work. But yeah. Oh. That would happen, wouldn't it? Put my reel down. Now it's covered in mud. Good stuff. 37 thumbs up, 17 people hanging in here right now. Thank you guys. Outdoors with Dan says, hello all, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Dan. Thanks for stopping in today. Do you tie your own flies? Yes, I do. I don't do it near as much as I used to, but I did actually just do a squirrel hunt not too long ago, and I saved the hide to make some dubbing with. So some squirrel dubbing is in the works. That should be fun. Tie some flies with the squirrel. That'll be fun. I used the tail to make string silencers for my recurve. The hide is going to make dubbing, and then I cooked the meat. So it was a good little project. Merry Christmas and great harvest be upon all. Indeed. It's a great time of the year just to reflect on the meaning of it. It's super important to me, And I know a lot of other people out there too. Just kind of always reflect on that, have some good time with family, get to appreciate one another, bring a little bit of merry cheer to the fact that it's cold and ugly outside sometimes. Let me switch hands here. One rolled four-wheeler, two almost rolled, SXS, that's hard to say. Almost slid into ditch on SXS. Almost hit deer on four-wheeler, sliding off ice and onto asphalt, ending on two wheels, and probably many more. Yeah, for sure. The problem with driving is a lot of the times you have experience where you're like, oh, that could have been bad. There's nothing you could have done about it because it's someone else doing something stupid, which is kind of annoying, kind of scary, but it's the price you pay for being able to travel. Favorite fly is the black bat. Huh. I'm not sure I've ever used that one, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm in Michigan. I hate roundabouts. I love roundabouts, actually. Most of the ones in my area do pretty well at traffic control. It would have been much worse if you put in a stoplight or a stop sign there. So maybe it's different up there, but most of the ones around my house I think are pretty helpful. I forgot I got rear-ended by my buddy with my old four-wheeler. Yep. Here's the faster section of the creek down to the bridge there. Looks beautiful with that light dusting of snow that remains. It snowed pretty good this morning, and then it rained on top of it, so a lot of that snow ended up melting and dispersing. Here comes a car. Yeah, it looks like pretty, I see a little ice down there, but it looks like pretty much the whole creek's open. We did get some decent rain recently, so I imagine that's probably a big part of that. Well, if you think about it, there are fine people enter without stopping, but we got like 2 in 1. Yeah. I understand. Like, we do have a double lane roundabout here. Bob probably knows what I'm talking about because it's like right outside his work, if he's still in here. Right outside that shopping center where Bob cuts fish. There's a roundabout that has 2 lanes, and people just don't seem to quite understand how to use that roundabout. It's not that hard, but people don't use it the right way, and that's kind of annoying. Creek chubs as the trout for everywhere. There aren't actual trout. Yeah, that works. And especially like this time of year, if you guys saw some of my lives in November, I caught a couple big ones with beautiful colors. I mean, people highly underappreciate the colors of fish like creek chubs. They're just like, oh, it's a creek chub. But if you look at it, those beautiful pinks and yellows and golds that they have in the fall up on their face really is remarkable. That guy's spewing exhaust. Wonder if he has like something going on there. That car should not be spewing that much exhaust. $39 likes. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right, we made it back to the house. Gonna head into the garage. Another language. You're reaching other nations. It's massive. Yep. We're gonna put away the rods, grab the bows, see what we can do across the street. Where I shoot my archery is like those woods right there. I made a little home archery range back there. It's a nature preserve, public property of the township, but nobody ever goes back there. It's a little plot of woods between my neighborhood and the next neighborhood over, and nobody ever goes back there. So I made a little archery range that I can use. I mean, I guess anybody else who wants to use it's free to use it, but I'm the only one who ever does. I've caught 3 I've caught 3 out of a little creek, and they're pretty. Yeah, creek chub. War is hatred, but hunting and fishing can build peace. Absolutely. Yeah, just because you can use things like bows and firearms for both activities doesn't make them the same thing. Usually extra smoke out of the exhaust means it's burning oil. Yeah, mine burns oil, but my exhaust looks fine, so we still don't know why my truck burns oil. It's a very weird thing. I recently figured out, this wasn't too long ago, a couple months ago, the members saw a post about this, but my truck had some major issues with the variable valve timing solenoids on it. And we figured out that it was way low on oil, like 2 quarts. And it dropped that 2 quarts in like 3 months. And you're like, oh my gosh, it dropped 2 whole quarts in 3 months. And it's burning oil somewhere and we didn't know. So then the valve solenoids got all gunked up because we ran it low on oil. The engine was hot. It funked up stuff that was in the engine. And then that funky stuff got trapped in the solenoids, and then the solenoids weren't letting enough oil pressure through, so we'd have weird valve clicking and vibration at low RPMs. It was a really weird thing. But we got it fixed, and the truck runs A-okay nowadays. All right. Is it a 99 to 03 Chevy? No, it is a Ford. It's an 06 F-150. I'll show you. So it's not like super old, but it had enough funk in the oil when we ran it that it had issues. So here she is. Big red beauty. Hold on here, let me reconnect because I know I'm back on house Wi-Fi now. Bear with me for 2 seconds. I'm back. All right. Let's turn on the light in here, get some bows ready, head over, take a couple shots. Pretty much routine to refill your oil every morning, and yeah. I put oil in it probably about every 3 weeks now, and I'm checking it at least once or twice a week, just because, I mean, you don't really think that you would have to, like, you don't really ever think about losing 2 quarts of oil over a 3-month span, but it happens, so now I take a look at it very frequently. All right, let's get some light on here. We can get the bows set up, head across the street, take a couple shots. So here is my brand new target. It's the exact same one I have been shooting. It's just a new one that hasn't been shot about 8,000 times. And no, that's not an exaggeration. So we got a brand new one. Has never been hit by an arrow. And then the old one, because for like my recurve bow, it's still got enough stopping power, just not for my compound. I put a little wooden hutch like over the top of it, so when it rains and stuff, it doesn't get totally soaked, and we'll continue using that for the recurve as long as we can, just to conserve this one. But brand new target to use today. 06 F-150 was good aside from that, if I remember. Yeah, it's got some like cam phaser, cam timing stuff that happens if you don't take care of it, but other than that, it's a pretty good system. So yeah, all right. We are going to bring over both the recurve and the compound. Let's start with the compound on the brand new target. So let's get my compound ready. It happens to be right there. Ta-da! Oh, I suppose we could just bring the whole case over. Yeah, let's do that. We can bring the whole case over and unpack it over there. I like that idea. Okay. And we need to bring the target, and we need to bring you guys. So here's how this is going to work. We'll bring you guys down and the bow. I'll run back, grab the target, and then when we want the recurve, we can come get it. Yeah, my compound is shooting beautifully right now. I got that paper tune, it's got that new vest on there. I have the sight built. That's that short you guys are going to see tomorrow is me building out the sight tape. it is shooting beautifully right now. It's a well-tuned machine. And my shooting as of late has been really good. I mean, I'm grouping in 6-inch circles from 90 yards. So we are cooking. We are cooking right now. Donkey Kong, indeed. All right. Oh, look at this. Snow along our path out to the backstop. You guys can see the wooden backstop out at 40, and I have the other target set out at 20. There's 2 squirrels over there. If I was out squirrel hunting, I mentioned earlier that I'm looking to eventually go out squirrel hunting with the recurve and some small game heads, which will be a challenge, but I definitely could have taken them there. They were 15 yards. I could have done that easy. The members have already seen a sneak peek of it, but when I took my squirrel while squirrel hunting with the rifle, I shot a beauty of a shot out at 45 yards. But I can't do that with the recurve, so we're gonna have to be like within 20 to have a good shot with it. It's gonna be a fun challenge for sure. All right, we'll turn you over here so you can actually see the bow assembly. There we go. Get the front bar on here. Get my rear bar on. I don't know if you can see, but as I said, I got brand new Easton 6.5. So I had a couple that had knocked off fletchings and stuff sitting in there. I took them out. We have a full case of 12 Easton 6.5s in there that are all ready to shoot, and I have 4 sitting back at the house that need to be refletched or put a new insert in, stuff like that. So once I get them fixed, I will have 16 ready to roll Easton 340 or Easton 6.5 340 spine. Cuts 29 inches. A couple of those were free. That was super awesome. From the recent trip to Lancaster Archery, they just gave them to me. That was pretty sweet. Get the release on. Is that the right setting? That's about right. We'll take a shot at the old target at 20 yards just to say we're dialed in, and then I'll go grab the new target and we can take a couple shots there. With enough practice, you can do anything. Never say never. Yeah, Woodsman, I am super excited for you to see the short shooting from 70 out to 70 the other day, and then eventually I've got one coming where I shoot out to 90. I'm very excited for you to see that. So yeah, rest, freshly paper tuned. We got nice little half hitch of the extra cord down here. We got a brand new sight tape. You can see it right here on the bow. Built out, brand new sight tape built out. All the works. This thing is shooting like a well-oiled machine. Let's give a shot or two at 20, just to see where we are for the day, get a shot or two in, and then we will go grab the other target, set it out at like 40, take a couple shots, and we'll get the recurve in the mix then too. We'll just slowly add stuff in. All right, here we go. Yeah. That is interesting. We got my 20-yard sight mark. That is a little shy of 20. It's probably at like 18, so it hit a smidget high, but I guess that makes sense. This thing is shooting lasers now, like dead straight paper tune bullet hole, and everything's feeling good on this bow right now, which is super nice. Yeah, when you said 90-yard shot, I was thinking I must have missed that video. Yeah, it's not out yet. Oh, that is the weird thing about these. The fletch, the white fletch, my white fletch always goes up. These new arrows they gave me, the white fletch goes out. I'll just have to get used to that, I guess. I'll like put a big red mark or a big white mark or something on the up fletch for these new arrows, and we'll be able to figure it out. Yeah, it is shooting higher, but we can dial that in. Oh. Okay, so some of them have the white fletch up. Oh, wait, no. This might be one of my arrows. Yeah, I think this one was mine, so. Are you left-hander or is the camera just flipped? Camera's flipped. I mean, I'm touching arrows, so like I guess that is where it hit. Turn the knock, yeah, I will. I realized the stupidity of what I said after I said it. I just never corrected myself. You're correct on the hunt. I was just being dumb. We all do that sometimes. Yeah, no, I'll have to turn the knock because the white fletch on mine is always up. And on these new arrows they gave me, it's not. But on this one it is. So some of them are like that and some of them aren't. That's just so weird. I mean, it's a ragtag bunch of arrows. They were trying to cut them to 30. They accidentally cut them to 29, and then I got them for free. So, yeah, if you want the odd fletch up. Yep. My odd feather goes down on my compound. It's confusing when you shoot traditional. Yeah, on my traditional, my odd fletch goes out, and on this it goes up, so it's not too hard. You a lefty? No, it's camera's flipped. Jack the Ripper operate in this forested area. Yeah, everyone has a stupid moment. I had one just recently. So, hey, when they happen on camera, people are going to tell you about it. I mean, I'm hitting in the dead same spot compared to where I'm shooting, so it is a little bit high. This shot isn't quite 20, it's about 18, so if I put it out to 20, we'll see where we hit. But yeah, let's go grab the other target. Let's hang the bow up on the tree right there. And let me go grab the other target, and I will join you guys in a moment. Behave for a minute. All right, I'm back. Have you ever shot a Robin Hood? No, I've broken a couple knocks, but I think it's a terrible day for rain is saying the same thing. I don't want to shoot a Robin Hood. I don't want to have to spend more money on arrows. These arrows aren't cheap. They're about for a 6-pack, they're about 60 bucks. They're like 10 bucks an arrow. So I don't really want to shoot a Robin Hood. If I do, it'd be cool. I'd put it up on the wall or whatever, but I'd have a broken arrow. So all right, I'm gonna walk this one out to 40 and we'll see what we can do from there. All right. So do we want the over the shoulder view for 40 yards down to there? Or do we want the view from right here? We'll do one or two from over the shoulder, and if we want the other one, we can switch it. All right, sight tape's in a good spot. Don't know exactly where that hit, but somewhere in the middle. It was close to where I was aiming if it wasn't on it. All right, so this is the one that needs the knock twisted. The rest of them are good. We'll aim at the same spot. I don't know where it hit exactly. I can't see it. I should have brought my monocular. It makes a different sound than the old target does, because this one's not worn out. I think that one hit higher than the other one. It's tough because I can't see a darn thing in terms of where they're hitting. All right, 3 arrows. I don't know where they hit. Somewhere in the middle. I was aiming at the dead middle dot the whole time, so we'll go look and see where we're at, because I don't know where we're at. It looks like they all hit good. One looks like it's really hot, but the other two look good. I don't know. Let's just wait until we get there. As I said, I don't know what I did on the one that was way high, but right in the middle of the dot. I don't know what I did on this one. Said I can't totally see what's going on. Gold-plated tipped arrows. No. Toss more salad than Olive Garden. Don't know what that means. Blinking Knox helps with that. Yeah, I also just have a monocular that I typically keep on my hip. I could go get it, but that'd mean I'd have to go run back to the house so I can see where I hit at longer yardages. And yeah, I didn't bring that out today. Yeah, I don't know what the salad comment even meant, so. But yeah, let's pull these out and shoot another tree. Okay. Oh, that probably had something to do with it. This field tip, that might be why that one hit so high, or hit weird. This field tip was nearly unscrewed all the way when I pulled it out of the target. Yeah, these other ones are fine. See, this one's fine. That one was just like that. In fact, I can't even unscrew it. But yeah. All right, let's shoot another 3, see if we can put them all 3 in the dot. I don't know what happened on that one. It might have been the field tip wasn't screwed in. It could have been me. I don't even know. I'm usually pretty dead on from 40, so those other 2 make sense to me. They were right in that dot, touching each other practically, but that one was a little weird. I like Caesar salad. Me too. Caesar salad's pretty good. We're probably only going to shoot compound today because I think my dad needs some help with something in a couple minutes. And I think he was just trying to text me about that. So we'll shoot a couple more arrows with the compound. Maybe get to an hour and a half of being live. And then I'll go cut it and help my dad with something. Good little live today. Nearly at 50 likes. I have 10 people still hanging out. Don't know where that one hit. My float was weird. I was like getting pressure with the string on the tip of my hand, which was weird. I don't typically do that. I don't know if I was holding weird. It's somewhere in the middle. I mean, like, it's close. That one was high and right, but that's where it broke, so that's fine. It's high and right by like an inch. Abigail Irwin. I know who that is. What you up to, Abby? Let's go look again because I still can't see where they're hitting. From 40 yards, I can't see. The other thing that's interesting is that this older target, because I shot it so much, the dots are way more faded, and even from 40 I can see where they're hitting. These new dots are so bold with the like ink that's on them that the arrow like disappears when I hit the target, because they're not like, it's not a faded background where the arrow would stick out. It's very bold ink. All right, it looks like 2 yet again. I think 2 of the 3 are in the dot and 1 is not. Actually, only 1's in the dot, but 1 is like touching the edge. Yeah, that one that's high and right that I said broke high and right is right here. 2.5 inches from the dot, but that's where it broke, so like that's fine. It was a good shot. This one is right, but I don't know why, and that one's in. So let's listen to the man. Click the like button, y'all subscribe, and click all on the bell. Thank you all, and may you have a very Merry Christmas indeed. Yeah, hold on, let me flip this around. Yeah, let's shoot like 5 and see how many of them we can put in the dot. My float's a little bit looser than it typically is today, so I'm gonna, this first shot for sure, I'm gonna take a long time just trying to tighten up my float, just win that mental battle. If you can win the mental battle in archery, you're gonna be a good archer. But like, win the mental battle. Don't, your brain's telling you to punch the trigger, don't do it. Your brain's, you know, wanting to do a loose float, but you're gonna force your brain to do a tight float before you release the shot. Like, just win the mental battle and you'll be a good archer. All right, I'm going to win the mental battle right here. This is going to be victory. Even if it's not a good shot, even if it's not on target, I'm going to force myself to tighten up the float before I let it fly. Can I do any trick shots? I mean, I'm sure I could, but I don't know what that would be defined as in this particular context. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. All right, now I'm losing my mind. I thought the helical was like 360 no scope. All right, watch this. Ready? I'm gonna turn around, do a 360, draw it, and I won't look at my scope. I'll intuitive shoot at the 20-yard one. Hopefully we don't miss. Hit very high, but I hit it, so didn't use the scope. Is that what you wanted? Entertain the people. Yeah, that works. Was it a good shot? No. Did I punch the trigger? Yes. Do I care? Not really, because I wasn't actually aiming at anything. With the road downrange. Oh, no, the road is not downrange, so you guys probably see people going that way. That road, so there's a road probably probably half a mile past my target back there, but there's stuff in between that, and then there's a road over here that goes next to the target. It bends this way. If I shot, I actually couldn't get to that road. I could only get to this one. So it looks weird, and like the more I watch back certain stuff to put in like highlights for the live, I understand why you guys think the road is behind the target, but it's actually over there. Like the road, this road that you're seeing is that road, which is actually over here, and the target's down there. It just looks weird camera. It is a weird angle for sure. All right, put another one down there at 40. See what it looks like. That broke right, but it broke right. So if that one's right, I don't care, because that's where it broke. I'm doing a lot of focusing on making sure the shot execution is good. If I execute the shot effectively and it breaks a little bit outside of center, I don't care that much, because I executed a good shot. So all right, one more, and then we'll go look. I mean, there's definitely a couple in that middle zone. It is weird too. Like, if you look, and I'll show you what I mean. There's two sides to this target. There's one where there's a dot, and then one up, like it looks like a die if you roll the 5. A dot, 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 dot. So in the corners and in the middle, and they're separated. And then there's this one where the dots kind of overlap. I never shoot as well at this one because I tend to hold a little bit low, and when the dots are touching each other, my brain tells me, oh, it's okay because it's sitting on a dot. But when the dots aren't touching each other, my brain forces me to actually hold on the dot that I'm trying to hit. But I tend to like be a little bit more all over the place, because as long as my pen is touching a dot, I seem to not care as much, because I can't totally see the difference between the dots because they all overlap down there. It's a little bit harder for me to shoot as well on this side of the target as it is on the other side, which is weird, but it's true. See, I think that one hit a little bit low. And I was holding where I thought the middle was, but like I can't see the difference between these two dots, or between the 4 dots, or 5 dots rather. I don't know why I keep saying the wrong number, because they're all overlapping. So I think my general group was a little bit low. Yeah, it was all low. And I guarantee you, well, I don't guarantee, but I think if I flip this target around, the group will instantly tighten up, just because I can actually visualize where I'm aiming better. Look at this group. It's all low. And it's right in that zone, but it's all low. If I flip the target, as you can see here, these dots all overlap. So from 40 yards, it's actually kind of difficult for me to see the middle dot, which is the one I'm aiming at, and like where that starts and where that ends. And it's harder for me to get my brain in the right spot. We're gonna flip this around and see if I shoot better. All right, so take a look at so here you go. Ranges, which you guys will see in a short tomorrow. They have these dots, and the dots are like separated by probably a whole foot from the other dots. I shoot better there than I ever do at my bag target, because there's so much separation between the dots. They're like, I'm aiming at that dot and the other dot's nowhere near it. Let's see if we shoot better. I think we will, but as I said, like I actually shoot better at that range than I do anywhere here, because the dots are so far apart that it's like I know exactly where I'm aiming, you know? All right. It is kind of like a visual thing too. Like, I can't see the separation between the dots from 40 as well as I could from 20. We're gonna see if we group better now that there's more separated dots down there. I believe that one's in the dot, like first shot. That shot wobbled a little bit, which is weird because I just got it paper tuned. So I don't know why the shot would be wobbling, given that I just got it paper tuned and it's shooting bullet holes, but that's something we'll have to figure out. But I think it did hit the middle regardless. That one broke very low, but I'm actually now more concerned about the fact that my arrows are wobbling when my paper tuning's good than anything. That's something I'll have to look at. That one hit right. I'm actually not shooting very well today. Very interesting. One of them's definitely in that dot, that first one. The target has shifted a little bit. You'd always build your own target. Build a 48 by 48 using free pallets stuffed with free plastic wrap. Use different faces, reversible. Yeah, I could. The problem with that is that this actually like isn't my land. It's a public little nature. It's like a conserved area. Like it's just kept for nature between two neighborhoods, because my township just has a lot of like, how much open space. But I use it as a little archery range because nobody comes back here, but it's not actually like my land. So yeah, well, I'll look at it. I don't mind these targets, they work fine, but like I legitimately do shoot better when I have a more defined dot to shoot at. And like with deer too, like there is no dot overlap and no dots that are closer. You're just picking your own mental dot, so I feel like that'd be fine too. All right, put wheels on it. Yeah, I'll see. I'm not ruling it out, but there's some logistics that would have. I think I put the last two in the dot. Do I have one more arrow here? Oh no, that's the one with the twisted knot, but I got one sitting in that target there. Let me go. When you shoot a lot, targets get expensive. Yeah, I just replaced it I just replaced that because I put like 8,000 arrows in that other target. That one held steady pretty quickly, so I executed the shot a little bit quicker because my hold was steady quicker. But I think I did better. I think I like definitely did better with this separated dot, which if that is true, then that proved my point. I think I definitely still have some stuff to do as far as getting the sight redialed in, moving that rest around, because we adjusted elevation and windage to get that paper tune good, and it definitely seems like there's a little bit off. Okay, we got two in the dot, one absolutely X'd, one really low, which I said broke low, and then the general trend is stuff is right, which makes, I had one that broke right and one that broke left, but I still have two sitting just right of the dot. Elevation on them is good, but they're just right of the dot. So I'm actually probably gonna bring my my windage over a little bit, because I feel like that's the general trend. Or actually, I know what it is. Hold on. I was telling my dad about this the other day. I think the leveling, like my level bubble, even when I'm holding level, like I eyeball it and it looks dead level and it's sitting a little bit off. I gotta like check that on something that's level. I'm gonna get some bow levels here and like be able to check that, but I think my sight bubble level is like legitimately off. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm saying like I think this is a real thing, because if your sight bubble level is off and you bring it to level, in reality you are actually tipping it, so it is going to move it. And based upon where it sits when I think it is level, it would move it right. So I think I actually just have that. Want to be ready to hunt next season? Or I'm ready to hunt like in terms of my shooting right now, absolutely 100%. But what I do have to do before next season, which is when I'm going to start, is get some tree stands up, make sure I have a plan for butchering, make sure I have maybe some cameras out, all that. So my shooting, I could go hunt right now, but that's not what I'm doing. Like this is 40 yards. This is probably one of my worst days from 40 yards in a long time, but it's a bow that just got my rest adjusted, so it's still not dialed back in. But yeah, if you look at the short I do release tomorrow, I think I'm going to release it tomorrow. I mean, on my good days, I'm grouping like this from 90 yards. So I'm going to say, as humbly as possible, today is not a very good representative of my shooting capability. My shooting, absolutely 100%, is I'm ready to go hunting like now. But obviously I have a little bit to tune up with the bow because I just got my drop away. My new drop away I got recently, and then I just got it paper tuned. So I feel like elevation and windage is off, and I feel like that bubble might be off. But if this was the vital point I was aiming for on a deer, these two would have done it. These would have been a little bit far back, so those actually still would have done it. But like if I was aiming at the right spot, this still would have, all this would have been good. The only one that would have been iffy is this one. So, I mean, to me that's good. And plus I'm not typically shooting from 40, I'd be shooting from like 30, so a lot of things to factor in. Yeah, no, I mean, I've actually been doing a lot of adjustment on my bow as of late, so like built the sight tape, and I still have some things to dial in on the sight tape, like the 90-yard mark that's on my sight tape is a little bit off. It's actually more like a 95-yard mark. I got a new rest recently. I bumped up the poundage from 65 to 70 only about 3 weeks ago, so it took me a while to get that dialed in. As of late, we've been doing a lot of dialing in and not a lot of just practicing. So eventually we'll settle into our groove. With the bow, let it sit still and not be adjusting things constantly. And then we should be showing you the true capability of my shooting. So, have you ever taken a deer before with anything? No, I have not yet. I've done squirrel with a rifle. I'm very, very good shot with a rifle. But yeah, I love the bow. Very excited to be able to do some deer with that pretty soon. All right. So that knock is also twisted. These might be at a steeper helical than mine. No, they're about the same. Alright, but it is weird. It looks like even though I'm shooting dead straight bullet holes with the paper tune, it looks like my shots are wobbling on a couple. Standard 100 grain heads, yeah, my full arrow weight is 420 grains. I shoot 70-pound draw at 27 inches. I got my bow chronoed when I was at Lancaster Archery. Someone was asking about that. My bow's shooting 260 feet per second, so... Okay, so I don't know what looks level to you guys, but to me, that looks about level. And my bubble is completely to the left. So to get it to straighten out, I'm here, which to me feels like it's tilted. So then when I actually hold it the way I feel like it's level, it's gonna hit right. So it's so weird. Oh, I just shot with my 20-yard pin. I did all that talking. That hit low in front of it. Did all that talking about stuff, and I actually wasn't focused on the shot. That's another thing we've discussed before. I don't shoot in live stream because I'm constantly distracted. Yeah, it does look to be off. I'm telling you, I think my bubble level is off. I'm gonna have to fix that. But yeah, and then I just shot that with my 20-yard pin. Yeah, I know I'm on a hill. I'm talking about like level with the earth, not level with the ground. Like if I hold it from the top cam, this is where it sits. And my bubble level's left. Like it's constantly, anyway, I think like, okay, this bow is level. Let's hang it on the hanger, see what it does. Bubble level's left when I hang it on the hanger just from a single pin, not across the limbs. We're actually hanging it from the cam so it can tilt, and it's still left. Like my bubble level's constantly left, which makes it hard to get my windage on shots consistent. I never look at it though. Yeah, I look at mine, especially because I don't always shoot on level ground and such. See, I feel like this feels level to me, and it is left. And then to get it flat, I have to go here. That was dead middle. Yeah, I've actually messed with mine enough to where I realize it does matter on hills. Like if I was standing on a hill that was a little bit more leaned over and I tried to hold it level with my body, it'd be tilted like this. So you obviously want it like this. Like it does matter. I don't think it matters a ton, but I think it's off enough that it does matter because it's left no matter what I do. And if I go like this, yeah. So I fixed my third axis. My third axis was off and I fixed that, but I still think my like just general sight bubble, like if I hold it dead straight, is off. It's left all the time. Which, yeah. All right, let's see. I'm going to not look at my sight bubble and just do, by hanging it by the cam, then adjust the bubble to level. Yeah. If I just shoot what I feel like is level, that's interesting. Will I have windage issues? Let's see. Let's shoot a couple. We're going to shoot at the bottom right dot now, so we have a differentiating, like so we can tell if it's different. I'm going to shoot with what I feel is like level and not what the bubble is telling me and see if it's better. That was kind of punchy. That was a punchy shot. That's all right. When you recognize it and you're like trying to willingly fix it, then having a punchy shot isn't bad. It's when you do it all the time and don't care, then it's bad. All right. One more arrow? Yes, one more arrow. See, that arrow wobbled like mad and it hit high. It might be like there's one or two arrows that are off because it's only one or two arrows that I can see wobble in the flight path. So that shot's terrible, and I guarantee that wasn't me. It tail kicked. I don't know what's wrong with that one. That one was not me. I gotta look at that arrow, see if there's something up with it. Okay, so windage on those shots was way better. There is one that's way right. Huh. So yeah. Huh. Interesting. Worried about the wobble and arrow flight? Tried shooting paper distance. Yeah. And noctuned. How do you noctune? I haven't done that yet. That's another thing. There's always new stuff to learn. I love learning. You guys on the channel know that, but the grouping's all over the place. So there's two right on the middle dot because I was aiming at that for a while. There's the one that I shot at 20. That's this one. So we'll take that one out of the equation. I shot the one at 20 yards that bounced off the ground and up and in. And then that one that broke weird. Or like that wobbled weird. But those in, so like there's one wacky shot. Everything else is really good. So this one has Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if that's what that was. The vein was bent like this. Here, let's show you straight on. The vein was bent like this. So I just straightened it back out. Let's see if that flies straight now. That's interesting. That is weird. I don't know why it was bent like that. All right. So we're gonna shoot one more group at 40. I think I've got some good information now on things I need to fix. There's always stuff to tinker with on the bow, but yeah, stuff I can do. Shoot another group. Really take our time, really do our best, and see what we can do. Focus on good shot execution. We're gonna put you guys. Oh, here's the one that bounced off the ground. Mud. That was because I shot it. I was talking to you guys about something while at full draw, and then when I let go, I used my 20-yard pin because I was not paying attention instead of my 40-yard pin, and it bounced off the ground. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Is it hitting the drop away? No, it's definitely not hitting the drop away. My drop away has years of clearance on it. So yeah, we tested that at the shop. We're good. I'm gonna put you guys here because I always like this view a little bit. I always find it kind of fun to shoot from this view. That one flew weird too. I don't know, it's just odd. I'm gonna watch arrow flight purposely now. I don't even know where that hit, but it flew weird. I'm very confused. Hold on here. I'm aiming at the dead middle, and I think I put 2 consecutive arrows in the top right dot. If I hit another one on that top right dot, we definitely have some weirdness going on, because I'm aiming at the dead middle, and there's 2 in the top right dot, which is weird. Okay, so I think I got that one to land. I think I know what was going on. Okay, that's fine. Are you near Reading? Yes, that's where I go to college, in Reading. Let me try something real quick. Okay. All right, I'm trying one more thing. Let me do something real quick. bubble level is way off. I completely overcompensated because the bubble loves to sit to the left. And I completely overcompensated and I kicked it all the way to the right side and shot and hit dead middle. The bubble level is terrible right now. I was like, okay, I think this is bubble level. I think this is bubble level. Bubble level is way off. And I believe I heard I just heard a United Airlines 777 fly over here. Saw it on flight radar, tracking me. Yeah, no, my house is not near Reading, but my house isn't near Reading, but my college is 7 miles from Reading. Hold on. Ready? Check this out, y'all. So there are 2 shots that I biased the bubble, purposely biased the bubble to try and get it to kick more left than it should. And then there are 3 shots where I just let the bubble sit where it is. Guess which ones are which? Oh, sitting in the dot are where I compensated to try and push the bubble left. And these are where the bubble just sat where it was going to. The bubble's way out of whack. The 2 in the dot are the ones where I overcompensated on the bubble and tried to push it left. And they're sitting in the dot. Ugh. I don't really like to give out exactly where I live on public live streaming. Sorry guys, the stream just randomly cut out, but I was saying, YouTube live stream when it's public, I don't just love to give out my address or like where I live, just generally in the town. But I will tell you this, I'm pretty much dead half between Philly and Reading along the Schuylkill River. So if you find the halfway point, that's about where I am. All right, I'm gonna try and bias this again. Take a couple more shots with the sight level biased. And then if that hits in the dot, then I've got all the information I need for today. It's actually fun to be able to shoot well enough to where you can know the problem isn't you and it's actually your stuff. Because like a couple months ago, I would have been hitting like this and I would have been happy. Like, oh, I'm hitting the target from 40. That's great. I'm hitting near the middle from 40. But I'm like, okay, I know that's not me. So now I'm seeing what the problem is and I'm diagnosing it because I know it wasn't me. So now we're good enough to do that. All right, 1 shot. Let the sight level sit where it wants. I think I got that one to sit in the middle. I think it gets worse when I stand on more of a hill, and there's more of a hill here. So I'm gonna stand on the hill and see if it does it, because it's worse when I'm on the hill. So I'm gonna stand here and shoot and see what it looks like. I got it. Okay. Joel says, are you setting it in? No, I have a leveling issue on my sight that I'm trying to diagnose here. So I think I figured it out. Where's my Allen wrench? All right, hold on here. I'm gonna make an on-the-fly adjustment and see if I can fix it right here. Have you picked out any broadheads? I think I'm gonna use the Schwacker mechanicals, but I'm not. I'm not set on that yet. That's just kind of where I'm. So. I got it. Getting a call. I saw that. It was my girlfriend. I'll call her back in a moment. I'm not gonna if I can put one or two in the dot with this adjustment, we're gonna hang it up and call it a day here. I Shoot Bo was gonna help you out. Yep. I hear you. I always love reminders and stuff. I've told people this before. There's not much you're gonna tell me that I don't probably already know, but getting reminders is never a bad thing. You know, it's like an online coach. We're in a good spot. We're pretty good now, I think. Yeah, baby. We're good. Both of those are in the dot. One more. That one was the weird flyer. I'll be your coach. Stop streaming and answer the phone before you get spankings. I don't get spankings. All right, yeah. No, we're in the money. One more. All right. Well, there you go. Well, that's no fun. That's not my type of fun, Zyro. I'm a Christian man who is waiting for the right time for such things. Patience is important. All right, y'all. Well, I think we got some good information while shooting today. We caught a couple fish, had a little bit of fun. Thanks for hanging in here with me. And yeah, I'm glad you guys were able to sit here and watch. Even as I wasn't shooting the best today, there was some issues and we got them diagnosed. Thank you guys for hanging out as I did so. I really appreciate all the support. I'll have a short coming out tomorrow with some more shooting, so if you guys are interested in seeing some more shooting, check that out. It should be a fun one. Shooting all the way out, just doing some 50, 60, and 70-yard shots with the bow, grouping pretty darn well, getting our sight tape built, and now we have said sight tape, so you guys will get to see how I built this in tomorrow's short, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, I will see you guys later. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, I missed the button. See ya.